Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer and another unboxing video. Today we're taking a look at Congress of Vienna, Diplomacy, Negotiation, and War in Europe in 1813 to 1814. Now, this is a game designed by Frank Esparago. We got system designed by Mark Herman, and the graphics by Terry Leeds. And this is also published by GMT Games. Now, let's flip this thing over and take a look at it. And I'll tell you what, just looking at all, GMT, man, whew, this looks good. Okay, we are 14 and up for age, 1 to 4 players. There is a solitaire system in here, and it looks like it's got a high suitability for it. Playing time, 90 minutes for the short scenarios, but up to 6 hours if you want to play the full game. GMT never disappoints on their long games, but they're so good. And I'll tell you what, 6 hours can go by on these games, and you don't even know it. Well, let's get this thing open up. This is a heavy, thick box. There is a lot in here. It's going to take us a little bit to go through it all, but let's see if we can get this thing figured out. But all I know is this game does look good. All right. It looks fantastic, actually. Good's an understatement. Okay, so let's get this thing opened up. Nice, thick box. Okay, and on the top, first thing we're going to get is a nice little quick start rule book. Okay, all right, we got issues, resolution, and effects. All right, we're looking at about, looking for page numbers, not really, about 11, 12 pages. Okay, for the quick start book. You know, a 6-hour game, there's probably going to be quite a bit of rules, but hey, never know sometimes. So, we'll start off and let's see what we have. All right, pause the button if you really need to, or pause the video, not pause the button. Okay. I don't know how well you can see those. Hopefully they're coming in pretty good. Off to the side maybe a little bit. We've got the war phase right there. Resolving a battle. Okay. What do we got? The national advantages. We got some battle DRMs. Oh. Paraspace. Looks like there's going to be some good stuff in this one. All right. But that's our quick start book. Now we're going to have the playbook. What is in the playbook? And the rules of play is coming up. Now, the playbook is a whopping 60 pages. All right. Oh, that's a beautiful map. I'm actually not going to go through all of the playbook. We're probably just going to skip through this one just a little bit. Okay, kind of get an idea. Because we got in here, we're going to have the rules for solitaire French play, detailed examples of play, some scenarios, game setup. So we're just going to we'll flip through a couple pages. We'll look at it, kind of get an idea of what you're getting in. Yes, oh, look at it. There's some of your examples. All right, examples are always good. But boy, I'll tell you, that's a big rule book for this. All right, first round, second round, this probably third round, probably example of play. But let's just kind of bounce through this a little bit. What do we got here? Got the end of the turn. What's going to happen? Yeah, I think there's a lot going on in this game. All right, scenarios and game setup. So that's cool when you get different scenarios that you get to play. And there it looks like there is a few of them in there. All right. And, well, there's just designer's notes in the back. Oh, you guys have seen these GMT rulebooks or playbooks. They're just chock full of just nothing but good stuff. Now, this rulebook is also super heavy. Optional historical rules and stuff on the back. But this is another 60-page book. But look at that. Nice little index in the back of the book. Okay. This is another one. We're probably not going to flip through all 60 pages on this one. Give you a really good look on that. As far as the rulebook goes, that table of contents. I know GMT's pretty good about posting their rulebooks online. Hopefully this might be out there. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't right at this point in time. I don't know. I haven't looked. But there you go. So it looks like a huge game board. There's a lot. Looks like it's going on that game board. So just a ton. Whoo! This looks like it's going to take a little bit to learn. Okay. All right. We'll flip through the first part of these because first part of this book actually looks pretty good. Some issue markers you might have. You got your campaign set up. Oh, here we go. There you go. Now we're getting to the sequence of play and the initial phase. Then here's your initial phase. I hope that's on a player handout because that would be very helpful. Our diplomacy phase. Yeah, so it looks like there's multiple phases in this game, and you're going to have to know how to deal with each one of those phases. So hopefully we got some handouts, but all right. We got the government phase, which is coming up right there. more examples of that. There's a lot of rules for each one of these phases, isn't there? All right. A lot going on. Okay, let's just kind of skip through it. Like I said, you can get some of this online. Just look and see if there's any good pictures of some stuff in there. Oh, all right. Whew. That's one of the thicker GMT rule books that I've seen. But this is what I want to see. Well, okay, maybe not. Army block labels. Well, I guess I'm going to be putting... At least there's not a ton of them. All right. And the labels are getting better these days. Okay, so here we go. This is where you're probably going to want to pause it because there is your player aid that you're going to get for the game. Try to get all this stuff out of it. You can kind of pause that if you need to. All right, here's the back side of that player aid. All right, so we got the national advantages. We got the battle DRMs, kind of like we saw in the back of the book. War of 1812. Okay, and what do we have? Here's all those sequences. So yeah, your initial phase, diplomacy phase, government phase, war phase, and then end of turn phase. There's a lot. There's your victory point summary. All right, and what do we got? Issues, resolution, priority, summary. There is a lot going on in this game. We're going to get 2 of these. Correction. We're going to get 3 of these. Nope. We're going to get 4 of these. Every single person has their own. Oh, thank you, GMT. Oh, you guys are my heroes. All right, now what are we going to get here? This is going to be, okay, here's our initial phase diplomacy. This is the this is the allied bot. Okay, so this is what, so if you want to play solo, okay, here, let me do it this way. Okay, so if you want to play solo, that's what you're going to get. And kind of get an idea on what that's going to look like there. And there's all the tables on the back. Okay, kind of slide those around. And if you want to play the French bot, we have this one right here. Here, I'll slide that back a little bit so I can actually get this thing in here. So that's going to be the French bot. And then let's go to, so you might be able to, hopefully the video on this quality is good enough to where you can maybe zoom in on the video. I've done that before sometimes. From my computer, I can just zoom right in. And I can give it a look. Or I put it on my bigger TV and it makes it a little bit easier too. Okay, just hit that old pause button. All right, now we are going to get a ton of tokens. And there is a lot of little tokens in there. So, like I said, pause it if you need to. But yeah, there's all kinds of different types in there. There's the front, there's the back. Okay. But it looks like that's all we're going to get. Just one sheet, not really too bad. But, whew, okay, I'm going to have to move some stuff. Because this map looks like it is absolutely huge. Like an 8-panel map. It is ginormous. So, we'll see what we can do. It's only one-sided. So we'll see what we can do by getting as much of this on this table as possible. And I might have to do some funky stuff. All right, let's do this. Okay, so all right, I'm gonna, hopefully I don't make you sick here, but let's go ahead and take the camera. We're gonna lift it up a little bit. All right, so I can kind of give you an idea what that map looks like. There's that. See all that? Okay. Whew. There is some map right there. Hopefully that was moving it around. I don't have a real steady hand anymore. But hopefully you didn't get too nauseous by me doing that. Let's flip this down. And then let's flip this up. So this map sitting sideways on the table is going to be absolutely huge. Okay. Look at the size of this thing. Wow. We've heard that before, haven't we? Oh, wait, look at the size of that thing. Now, I'll tell you what I'll do. You just kind of pan it. I got it sideways right here, so you can kind of see everything. So this looks like what you're going to see from the front side. All right, and there's the bottom half. Oh, there we go. There's the bottom half of the map there. All right, so then if I slide it over here, this all becomes sideways now, which I like looking at the other way. But we can get that in there, and it looks like you're going to have your card hand size track. I mean, just so many tracks. End of turn VP track right there. So much going on in this map. Absolutely a ton. Wow. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Now, let's see if we can get everything back on my table. All right. I haven't left you, but we still got a lot of stuff to do. Well, not too much, but there's still quite a bit. Going to get a nice little bag of Ziploc baggies. We're going to get a couple decks of cards. We'll flip through those cards here in a little bit. We'll probably save the cards for last. We're going to get some dice. Looks like maybe each different player colors are going to have their own dice. Different regions on the map are going to have their own dice. I have no idea. Don't know. Could be possible player colors because they're all going to match all the different blocks that I get a sticker. Okay, now the blocks aren't too bad. I don't think they're like block war game blocks because they're really thin. Okay, but it looks like they're going to sticker fine. We're also going to have some little cylinders for some stuff. We've got a little tiny baby pawn in there. But we also have, and we're going to have 2 bags of these pawns. And it looks like they're going to be, everything going to be the same. We've got the bishop. Okay, just needs his little cutout on the top. But yep. All right. Now, the second bag right here looks to be the same as the first, but it might have some different colors in it. Actually, I don't think it does. I think it's just more of the same. More of the same. Just 2 boxes, 2 bags of it. All right, and look at that. Oh, man. Yes, I like how they put, it's kind of partial upside down. Yeah, I like when they put the artwork on the inside of those. Those always look really cool. Now, what are we going to get for cards? We're going to get some initial situation cards right here. We're going to get some game cards. All right, and I'm sure that's not all they are, but let's see if we can get these guys opened up. And they're not going to want to crack very easy, so we'll just give it a helping hand. And let's go through these cards and see what we get. Boy, and these cards, they got a lot of information on them, but that's good. That's good. Let's get this pulled up a little bit. Okay, so we got our initial situation cards. I'm really excited about this game. Yeah, I can't wait to look at these cards because I'm curious on this. All right, this is going to be one of those games. This is going to take me a day to learn it, but it's going to be a fun day. We're going to have handicap cards. I have no idea what that means. We're going to put those down. And then Russia, France, Britain, and Austria. Okay, so I'm guessing these maybe are player cards. Okay, we'll take a look at those. We got our Austrian leader. Pause it if you need to. We got, okay, our British leader. We got our French leader and our Russian leader. Okay. Now, our handicap cards. Don't know what these mean. And it looks like they're going to be different. Play immediately after the initial phase. Okay. Hey, play additional resource. All right, so it looks like everyone's going to be different. Each one of them is. You know, I like that. I like it. Every time you draw a card, I just like it to be totally different. So sometimes, depends on the game, there's nothing wrong with drawing a card and having it the same as some of the other cards in there if they get mixed up well and there's a good variety. But otherwise, I like a monster variety. Now, there is a lot of text on these. If you would like to pause, if you would like to read these, definitely go for it. I'm going to give you about a second on each card or so. Hopefully enough so that it doesn't stay blurry and it actually focuses it in. All right. And give it a pause and take a look at it. But yeah, this text is so small, I don't think I can even compare them enough so that I can even tell if they're different or the same. I'm just trying to watch and make sure that camera focuses in good. Although everything's blurry to me, so I really can't tell. All right. So it looks like with the date codes up on the top, you're just kind of basically you're going through the time frame, and yeah, I'm going to be really curious how this is going to play out, you know, and how these cards are going to work. So is it just every time you get to September of 1813, this is the card you're going to play, and so technically when you play through the game once, you know what's going to happen? Now these are historical games, so historically we know what happened. You're just kind of playing through all of the same scenarios. Okay. And that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. I like playing through actual scenarios. Gets me a little history lesson, which, yeah, I could probably use more history lessons. So, and that's always a good thing. All right. Now, what do we have here? We're going to get some game cards. All right. And is this whole thing. This whole deck is game cards. All right. Well, let's go ahead and it looks like they're broken up by types too. So like, for example, we'll split them up. That'll make it easier for me to hold them. Okay. So the French, the British. I wonder if each player has their own deck. That would be actually kind of cool if it does. All right, and okay, Austrians. All right, and then these are just maybe some generic ones. So we'll go through these first, and then we'll flip through the other ones. Okay, and you'll be good to go. Take a look at that artwork while you're at it too. This must be maybe BCCC. I don't know what that is, but +1 for debating. All right, maybe action points, actions you get up on the top when you play the card. I have no idea. All right, let's put these on that side. Okay, now let's go through these guys' cards. So you can take a look at them, split them all up. So I don't know if any of you guys are excited about this game. It's a GMT game, so wow, I'm always really excited about it. Some of them are more difficult to learn than others. But boy, I'll tell you what, some of them are heavier than others. This one looked like it was about medium on the learn to play. Now, medium on some GMT games would be considered hard for some other games, but that's okay. The thing I figured out and I've learned with their games is once you got an idea of kind of how it plays, you just have to wait for it to click. Once it clicks, and then everything just goes smooth. And it's just finding that point where it clicks. And sometimes it's easier than others. You just really never know. Man, I've played some games that I thought weren't necessarily even GMTs. They were just kind of simpler games that just took forever to click on me. And I'm like, man, this is like an entry-level type of game, and why am I not understanding this? So, you know, a lot of it just depends on the game. It just really does. So I've seen games that just have so much stuff going on the table that you're like, oh man, you just brain overload just looking at every single thing in that game. But once you get playing it, you're like, oh, well, this actually makes sense. This isn't that bad. All right, last deck of cards, and we are done. All right, I hope you're still with me. Okay, there's some good stuff here. I'm trying to read some of these as I'm flipping through them. I should probably flip through them a little faster than what I am. So, I don't know. I get talking and then I forget to do stuff. My brain can only kind of do one thing at a time. So, but that's my brain. My wife gives me a hard time about my brain all the time. So, all right. But there you go. That, as far as I can tell, is everything for this game. Now, is it going to fit all back in the box pretty easy? I'm pretty sure it is. So we're going to put that there, that there, that there. Okay, and then we're going to just stick these here for right now. Now, I'm going to go through this game a little bit later. Okay, I just want to make sure we get it all back in the box easy peasy now. And I'm going to get everything punched, put it in bags. I'm going to get stickers put on blocks and get all that taken care of. Let's get this put down here. All right, and then we'll get, let's see, we got our board. Then we have our two bots. We got our French and our Allied bot. If you are a solo player, okay, this might be a good solo one. All right, and then you're just going to have your rule book. You're going to have your Congress of Vienna book. I like to put the seams on the opposite sides. You're going to have your quick start guide, and then you're going to have the box cover. We'll get that on there. And I will say I like to look at this, man. The colors just pop. It just looks really good. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is Congress of Vienna by GMT Games. Hey, if this is on your wish list, if this is something you want to play, maybe you've played it, maybe you haven't played it. I think it's still pretty new. But if it's on your wish list, let me know what you think. Future Ray here. All right, so it was discovered that after I started punching everything and getting everything done with this game, we got the wrong components. We got 2 bags, and we should have only got 1 of all the wood pieces, and we were fully missing this one. So we got a hold of the good folks over at GMT Games, and they sent us the correct bag of what we needed. So this is just all the different little wood bits that you're going to need, okay, that we didn't have and we didn't get to show you. Now, you've seen all the wood bits before, but we need to fix something real fast, and I can also show you one more thing too. So let's go ahead and get all this out. You're going to notice stickers are gone. I stickered the game already. Okay, let's get the board out. Now, this is that extra bag that we got. And I was kind of wondering why we had multiple pieces. Now we know why. We don't need that bag. But I will show you this. Okay, as you can see, I've got stickers on all the little pieces now. So we are ready to go. So get that put back in there. This bag, okay, make sure Ah! Okay, and I'm dropping stuff all over the place. Okay, let's get all the air out of this because it's kind of nice and tight. Actually, it's got a hole right there, so I take all the air out itself. Now that I notice that, and we're just going to set this guy right there. Everything's nice and flat. Now let's get everything back. Okay, this sticker's done. Don't need it. All right, we'll keep him out this time. But there you go. Okay, now that we have a complete version of Congress of Vienna. Okay, it's ready to go, and now we can actually play this game. So, if you know of or want to play or have seen this game, let me know down in the comments below. This one just looks super fantastic. Like I said before, I love the artwork on it. I can't wait to get this one to the table. I'm glad we now have a complete set so we can get it to the table. Super excited about this one. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching.
And if you want a science fiction version of it, here's one based on an obscure 1960s television show called Star Trek. I think it starred Raymond Burr. I don't know.